Guys, so today we are going to be revamping and coloring this wig. I have been wanting to do this for a while now, so let's get started. I have basically already did a test strand just to kind of see the color and how it was going to turn out. Here I'm just kind of giving you a 360 view of the hair. This is the color we're going to be using. It's Mocha from Adore, and I'm just showing you my test strand. I did let this color sit on here overnight as well, so we're good to go, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So as you can see here, I'm bringing my wig a little closer. I've kind of sectioned off some front pieces already. So this is braided up, the pieces that I'm going to keep blue, and then underneath is what I'm going to color brown. I really wanted this to be a really harsh contrast, which is why I chose brown and blue. It just kind of came to me, but yeah, so these are my sections. I already had the bangs previously cut, so I don't have a tutorial on that. I do apologize. So for this portion of the video, you will need a rat tail comb because I am doing my sectioning, and I'm wanting to make sure everything is nice and crisp, so that way we don't have any mess ups, because with this being a very light color, I need to make sure everything is as precise as possible because you can see everything. So here I am just taking a vertical section, and I am making sure that, like I said, it is really clean and crisp because this is going to be the blue that divides my brown. The front section that's already clipped up is what I'm going to be dyeing brown, so I am braiding this section up so it's also out of the way. I honestly should have also hairsprayed the sections that I left blue because it made it a lot harder to color, which you guys will see later on. Now I'm just making sure it is equal on both sides, so I'm matching this side to my other side from the top to make sure it's even. Moving to the back section, the whole purpose of this hair color process is to make sure everything is equal. So I'm trying to make sure that my portions split in between are as even as possible. But for the back, I didn't want my highlights to be as thick or as chunky, so I did a weaving method. So this top little piece of blue hair is what I'm going to keep on top. That is going to be blue, so that way it fades really nicely in the back instead of it being the harsh chunky highlights in the front. Okay guys, so this is the full 360 of the hair and my sections. So the pieces that are down are what I'm going to be dyeing brown, and the pieces that are clipped up are what we're going to be keeping blue. So like you can see, my sections are super precise, super clean, and that's what you want for the chunky highlights, because if not, then you're going to get splotches and it won't be even. Alright guys, so we're just gonna dive straight in. Honestly, the mistake I made was using this big old brush on the small section, but you live and you learn. I ain't colored hair in a while, but it's okay. So I did later on decide to switch brushes because this was so tedious. You can see that I'm taking small sections, and I'm also painting vertically because you want your color to be also distributed evenly and to saturate every strand and to make sure every strand is covered. Vertical sections allows you to see what's being colored and what isn't, and I always paint on the top and then the bottom, and then I brush the center to make sure everything is coated. Once I finish painting my color on, I like to take my gloves and rub the color in just to make sure everything is properly saturated, and also it allows me to blend and make sure everything is really soft and I don't have any harsh lines. Okay, so as you can see, I switched to the other side, and I also switched my brush out because your girl got tired of dealing with that big old brush. And with me taking small sections, I need to be able to get as close as possible because this hair is blue, and I don't want the roots to kind of look like they're spaced out from the scalp. I want this to give scalp, you know? Once I finished with the bangs, I did go back in with the normal size brush because we're not trying to have this be a tedious process. We just want this to be a precise one. So I did go back in with the bigger brush to start painting more color on. And as you can see, I'm still taking vertical sections and painting downward. The key to a good coloring process is your sectioning and your blending. And like I said, being patient because this is going to take some time, but at the same time, you know that the end result is definitely going to be worth it. So for my first highlight, I like to work from the bottom and work my way up because this allows me to have more control over my color because the sections will just lay on top of each other, which you'll see here in a second. All right, now I've made my way around the head. I am now working on the back section. I really wish that I would have took more brown due to the way I cut the hair. I ended up doing a wolf cut at first and then turned it into basically a blunt bob. And so the brown didn't show as much underneath as I wanted to from when I had the cut originally, which is in the video and you'll see. So you can see the brown underneath, but once I cut it shorter, you can't anymore. So now for my top piece in the back, I am doing a weaved highlight. Well, these are lowlights. I don't know why I keep saying highlight, but for this section, I like to back comb because this helps diffuse the application of the color with my sections. I don't want this to be really harsh because, like I said, this is blue hair. So I do that just to kind of help make sure that it blends evenly and to make sure that the color and the hair stayed. I like basically put a blob in the center of the hair and stuck it to the aluminum foil and started painting in a downward direction, making sure it's super diffused and it's super soft. Alright guys, so this is the full 360 of the hair color. So you can see my placement and my application. This didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to, but once I finished, I let this color, since it was semi-permanent, sit overnight because I wanted this to make sure that the brown was locked in for sure. This is the outcome of the Lowlights. I was super pleased with how they turned out. I couldn't be happier, honestly. I was super nervous the entire time. I never really wore this wig long because it's literally so thin, as you can see, but the hair is wet, so it's not really that bad once it's dry. But yeah, I'm like, I never really wear this wig, but I wanted to pull it out again and give it some life, and I definitely think that this color was it. This was the decision, and it needed to be done. So moving on, I'm so mad because I thought I had a clip of me showing what color I used, but I don't. So I'll insert a picture or a clip of some sort so you can see. But it is sky blue from Adore. And I am literally just painting this on top of the blue, not really caring if I get it on the brown because the brown's already done. It's not gonna